Oh, you're in Tulsa today and heading to Denver? What? Oh my goodness. Gonna send you some love for Denver. You're going to love the I hope you can able to go into the mountains a little bit. Because the leaves are just so beautiful right now. Oh, right. So, we are doing all signs. Sorry to have missed the end of last month. I was really hoping to kind of get that in, but of course, with the retreat, it's just always so hard. There's so many moving parts right before the retreat. So I wasn't able to get that in for you, but I am back and we're ready to do the first half of October for you guys. Um, okay, good. That's good. I'm glad to see that. So, before we get into, the readings for you guys, let me just kind of go over the astrology. As you know, if you listened to last night's broadcast with Mary Ducina, we went over the full moon in Aries, which is coming up on the 6th, 7th, depending on where you are in the world. Hello, Bonnie. Good to see you. And so we've got this full moon that's illuminating you. Okay. It's the eye. It's the I and the we axis that's getting activated. So you and your very important people in your life, contracts, business partners, marriage partners, really good friends, for some of you clients, if you work in that way. So all of that is kind of getting lit up. And this particular full moon is going to be, like I said, I called the name of this full moon something about like X-ray vision. Like you're not able to hide anything. There's going to be, any sort of hidden agendas are going to be exposed, whether they're your own hidden agendas with people who maybe don't have, the most balanced intentions with you. It doesn't have to be completely nefarious. It can be on a completely different scale. But we also have, towards the middle of the month, we have Pluto going direct. It's our first planet that's going to be going direct, that's on the outer planets. And so Pluto going direct in Aquarius at 1 degree. This is where we will get some more movement, deep transformation. Aquarius definitely rules the area of your chart that has to do with you being a little different, okay? Being able to break free of the norm. Individuality is very important with Aquarius. It's about breaking some of the rules, not just to be rebellious, although sometimes it can be, but really to kind of break yourself free of things that are constraining you, especially when they pertain to your ability to move forward towards your future. Aquarian energy is very future forward looking. It's about the bigger picture, your long-term goals for your future. It's also the sign that can talk about long-term gains when it comes to your money, things that come from your hard work over time. So, with Pluto being there and it finally like getting a direct motion, this is where you're going to get some more momentum when it comes to that death, rebirth, transformation, also things about building more power in that area of your life as well. Look to what house Aquarius is for you. It's really good to look at it from both your ascendant or rising sign and your sun sign, particularly because your rising will be more of you on a whole. Your sun sign will be more related to your career. So you'll get a bit of a bigger picture that way. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Now, before we get into the readings, I do want to say, and this is where when you show up to the live, you get a little bit of a heads up. As you guys know, if you listened in last night's broadcast, I just held my fifth 3-day 180 retreat, which was extremely successful. We had incredible breakthroughs. It's the first time I was called to do 2 nights of journeys with everyone. And so instead of having the last night be more of an integration night, we turned it into a full-on journey night, which ended up being very good for everyone involved. And so noticing how much deeper and more rich the journeys became with a second night, I am now going to integrate that into the structure of the retreat. However, there was a change that occurred with this one where it was more intimate, smaller group. And I kind of like that because what I didn't announce yesterday on the broadcast is that I did the retreat solo for the first time. So Consuelo wasn't able to make it out, and we just figured, like she could have, but it really would have pushed some things. And so we decided, given that it was just a few people, that I could handle it on my own and not to push her. So I did the retreat all on my own. And I have to say, it's what pushed me further out of my comfort zone to really explore some of the shamanic energy that has been lying dormant inside of me. Sometimes when we're pushed to our edge, we get a chance to either pull ourselves back or cross over the threshold. And I took the opportunity to cross over the threshold and found myself interacting throughout the journey in a way that I haven't fully done in any of my other retreats. And so I'm excited to work with fire now in my ceremonies. I will not hold a retreat without fire being part of the ceremony. And this will be my first retreat in the winter. So the next retreat, if you would like details, I'm only selling 4 tickets and it will be this January. I have a newsletter going out in the morning, but if you would like early details, access, just email me, Nicole@NicoleFrolic.com. With January in the subject heading, and I will send you the details to see if it's a fit for you and if it's something you'd like to come to. Again, I'm only going to sell 4 tickets, so there's only 4 spots. That way, you get way more VIP treatment, you get way more of an intimate connection with everyone there, and the room gets really lit up. So, all that being said, let's jump into the all signs because we are starting off with air. Okay, let me just write this down on my ghetto piece of paper that I've pulled so that I can get you guys your timestamps really easily at the end of all of this. So air signs, we are going to jump into the readings with you first. So let's find out what is the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge that might be coming up for you for the first half of October. Air signs. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Good to listen to all of them if you can, especially your Sun, Moon, Rising, as it will really give you a deeper picture of what's going on. You'll see the different layers involved. I always see the layers of each one coming up in some way. Sometimes the moon's stronger, the sun's stronger, you never know. All right. So, okay. So we have your main theme of your reading, and I really like it, especially with a full moon in Aries coming up. And we finally are out of the 9th month of the 9th year. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Air signs. Well, the first card is closing door completion. So for the first half of October, you are facing likely some kind of ending, some kind of need to leave something behind, walk away, close the door on something. And again, it doesn't have to be a sad ending. In many cases, it could be exciting, ready to close an old chapter that is no longer part of you. The reason why it does feel like you're entering a very new era, air signs, is because your challenge is stranger curiosity. And so when stranger curiosity is coming up here, there's this element of like you feeling like you're going to feel like you're in foreign territory, which is obviously how it's supposed to be when you're entering somewhere new. Again, there may be some challenges of letting go of the old, ready to embrace the new. Sometimes I find that moving forward with curiosity is actually a very beneficial energy, so that it removes some of the heaviness of what lies ahead. It brings in that inner child of wonderment and the desire to just explore for the sake of exploring. Let me see if anything comes up in this card in particular for you. The other, moving past fear of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. Okay, so the stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty as the dangers of the unknown define its very presence. So yeah, like there is this understanding that you are heading into very new territory, which means it's a place where you don't have a lot of experience, at least at the level that you're entering it at. And so you may feel the need to like really summon some of your courage in a way that you've not had to before. And I do feel like this full moon in Aries is definitely calling upon that. Remember, Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. It is the Fool's card in the tarot deck. It is willing to take that leap of faith. It is stepping onto the path for the very first time. So in order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. So this really is about taking you out of your comfort zone, allowing yourself to explore things that you wouldn't normally allow yourself to explore. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss this opportunity for learning, because something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore the possibilities. It's a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. My God, it just feels like how I felt at the retreat. And I will say this, it was a very new territory for me. So air signs, I'll also say I had the most fun I've ever had at a retreat, only because I truly got to become the shaman. If you've been to any of the retreats before, you know, like I'm always checking in. There's all these things. I'm worried about the food. I'm doing all these things, you know, where this one, because everyone was so immersed in their journey and I knew they were totally fine, that I could just have fun and become all of the different things. And it, you know, interacting with this idea of a new tempo, a new sensation, new and bigger dimensions opening up to you, higher dimensions. This is what comes, right, with the growth. So let's see where this is going for you with the tarot. So let's look at the past first. What do we need to know about the past for my air signs? What do we need to know about the past for my air signs? Okay, so we have the Fool in reverse. So you may have been hesitating on this new leap of faith. We also have the Five of Stars coming in. Okay, that's the Five of Coins. What else do we need to know about the past? Some of you are worried about money. Okay, we have the Two of Wands coming in. Worried if this new path is going to impact your finances, your security, your resources. We then have the Hangman coming in to the current energies. What else do we need to know about the current energies for air signs? Ooh, Judgment. Very spiritual in the heart of your spread. And the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, coming into the future, the near future energies. Look at that. We have the Star card. Ooh, I'm really excited about this reading for you, air signs. What else do we need to know about the the near future. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands. And the Two of Stars. Okay. Overall energy is the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Wands is underneath it. Ooh, okay. Look, air signs, I really love this reading for you. It's deep and it's beautiful. So with the Page of Cups, we're talking about, for some of you, this is a dream of yours that you are potentially embarking on, maybe having the courage to finally take a leap of faith into, but it's certainly, you're not doing it without hesitation. And then when you have the Ten of Wands underneath it, there's been some kind of long-standing obligation, is what I feel like, that's been like you've been carrying, like that's been kind of weighing you down, something you felt obligated to that has been getting in the way of you perhaps pursuing this opportunity, this dream, this creative desire, passion. For some of you, this could be love. But, you know, with the Page of Cups, it's really speaking to like your hopes and your dreams, you know, from a very, but again, it's a newer one. It's one that you haven't fully embarked on yet, or you're entering a very new aspect of a dream, or perhaps that you're already living, but now you're ready to take it to a completely new level. Again, it does feel like there's been some obligation, though, that has weighed you down and perhaps delayed your ability to move forward with this, or had you contemplating if this is the right time or the right move for you. So looking at your past, you have the Fool in reverse, the Five of Stars, and the Two of Wands. So again, like I said, there's this desire to want to move forward, right, with that Fool card, but it's in reverse, meaning like you're kind of toe dipping, like you're not ready to take the full leap. There's pause, there's reflection, there's a little bit of self-doubt, to be honest. And with the Five of Stars coming up, this is telling me that there's some sense of, you know, feeling, for some of you, it might be that if you take this leap of faith forward, you feel like you're going to be isolated. You might be pushed, cast aside. It might mean that you're going to have to be alone for a while. For some of you, this might feel like it's going to put a lot of restriction on your money resources, your finances, making you really challenge your sense of security. Maybe even for some of you, like really your own self-esteem and self-worth. But with the Two of Wands, you are at a crossroads here. So, you know, like you're looking at two different paths, and one of them is really calling your name, and one of them you've been walking for a while. So coming into the current energies, we have the Hangman, the Judgment card, and the Two of Cups in reverse. Look, this first half of October, you're really taking your time to meditate, to contemplate, to go within, to maybe step outside of the hustle and bustle, to remove yourself maybe from certain situations so that you have some time to really understand what it is that you want and what it is that you need. Because for some of you, this is a major decision for you, right? This is a very major decision. However, I do feel like it's a coming around. Like for some of you, this might be an opportunity that's coming back around in some kind of way that maybe you missed doing this years ago or decades ago, you know, where you're like, you thought about it, but then you chose a different path. And now the opportunity to maybe choose this path again is coming back up. I want to say that there is definitely a very deeply spiritual nature to this choice or this decision that you are confronting. And it's really calling upon you to walk a higher path, a path that's closer to God, a path that's closer to your bigger belief systems, your values. And with the Two of Cups here in reverse, some of you are going to find that you're literally having to break up with one reality in order to go forward with another. It may mean you're having to end a contract in order to start a new one. The Two of Cups can sometimes refer to relationships. It doesn't have to be, but for some of you, this might mean that it's putting separation between you and someone that you deeply care about. Again, it does not have to be just romantic. again, it doesn't necessarily mean a breakup. It may just mean like distance or separation. So maybe some of you are needing to move further away for whatever this choice is. But remember, there is a sense of completion. Like you have realized that you have come to a close in one area of your life, maybe multiple, and it's time to look elsewhere. It's time to close that door and start moving forward. Now, coming into your near future, you have the Star card, the Nine of Wands, the Two of Stars. Look, we're talking about big hopes and dreams. This is like something that would really, truly fulfill you on a very, very deep level. However, it's going to not just simply be a paved road for you. There are going to be challenges. You are going to be tested. That is part of the plan of like, how much do you want it? Anything that's worth having doesn't just come so easily to you, in the sense that you don't value the things that easily come to you, right? You value the things that you had to put in some effort, that required you to go through some kind of challenge for. It doesn't mean life has to always be hard, but there's something around this that is also like putting you to the edge, where you know like you're going to finally like you're going to be fine, but don't think about the challenges or the obstacles that you might have to face as you move forward with this as a sign that you made the wrong decision. It's forging you, okay? And with the Two of Stars coming up here, it's finally creating balance. There's a sense of things will balance out for you, things will calm down. So just trust in that process. So let's kind of go into the cards and the clarifiers, and we'll find out a little bit deeper what's going on here for my air signs. Let's do one more. All right. Let's clarify this Page of Cups as your overall energy for my air signs first half of October. Ooh. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, also signaling that there might be someone else involved in this decision, in a sense of they get affected by you making this, where they kind of maybe get left behind, or again, it doesn't have to be really deep, although for some of you it might be. What else do we need to know about this Page of Cups? Okay, we have the Queen of, the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands. Oh, there's a couple cards down here. Put them over there. What were they? Oh, good cards, but they were not meant to be in your shuffle. Okay. Three of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Wands on your Page of Cups. So look, there is something about this that really gets you excited, okay? You feel definitely optimistic about this. It sparks your passion. It sparks your desire. There is even a part of you that is quite confident in moving forward. However, it's a little shaky in a sense of you're going to be met with some challenges, some tests along the way. So don't let that shake your confidence. With the Three of Pentacles here in reverse, it does feel like either this is involved like you and at least one other person, if not more. It might be the ending of a project, something that you've been like, maybe a group of people that you are at work with. This could just also be the end of maybe a skill that you've been working on. You're realizing, you know what, this isn't my mastery anymore. This isn't the way I want to go. Like for instance, when I was doing massage therapy for over a decade, you know, and me realizing this was great for me for a while, but this is not where my only path is going to like take me. It's time to move on. It's time to kind of break up with being the massage therapist and move into a deeper part of healing. So it could be something like that for you. Or it could be a renegotiation of something to better fulfill your destiny, your dreams, that nature. What's the Fool in reverse in the past here? What's the Fool? Okay, we have the Six of Wands in reverse. What else do we need to know about the Fool in reverse? So maybe not feeling like you're getting part of your worry is that you're not going to be successful in some capacity. Like that's maybe part of the hesitation. But also more so it's feeling like you're maybe not going to get the recognition that you deserve for wanting to follow this choice, to make this choice and decision. And then we also have the Magician in reverse. So, you know, like really challenged by your skill set. Like, do you have everything you need in your toolbox to move forward? Do you trust everything that you have in your toolbox to know that maybe there's things that you haven't used in a while or ever before, and now you're going to be forced to really call upon some of those things. Sometimes there are tools you have that you don't even know you have until the moment calls for it. I certainly found that this past weekend. So what about this Five of Stars? I do feel like air signs, you're heading into some great new opening, an adventure of some sort in your life. What's this Five of Stars? Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. So a little bit of confusion, possibly a little delusion. But that's coming in with this idea that you won't be supported, that you won't have enough, that you're not enough, that you might be less secure. And then we have the Moon further enhancing that confusion. Again, like you're kind of going into a darker place here in the past of maybe kind of like dipping into some of the shadow elements of what having the courage to move forward in an area that, you know, doesn't just come easily, that isn't like widely accepted, or, you know, is something that, you know, doesn't maybe fit the mainstream so much for some of you. But I also get here that you need to trust your intuition and that you've been maybe needing to lean into that more. Two of Wands. Okay, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. For some of you, you may have already made this decision. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Coins in reverse. Nine of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, both in reverse. Okay, so again, you're really challenged by this idea when you're faced with the fork in the road of like ending some kind of fear, a very long-standing fear, by the way, that you don't necessarily maybe have what it takes. And again, there's a part of you that knows you do, right? But that fear creeps in, that like that whispering, you know, devil on your shoulder, so to speak, that's saying like, you're too green for this. You need a little more training. You need a little more maybe schooling. You need a little more experience. You need, you know, maybe you need a certificate. Maybe you need to read 5 more books. Like, I don't know, whatever this is, like there's something you've built a codependency with that you have to break free from. And again, that codependency could just be like needing to learn more and not actually just take the steps and learn as you go, like learn in the moment of the experience. But so now we're coming into this current energy, and with the Hangman here, there's definitely a pause, a need for contemplation and to see things in a different way. So what do we need to know about the Hangman? What do we need to know about the Hangman? Okay. Well, that Nine of Wands is coming up again, and then the Empress. Okay, so a lot of this is hinging on your ability to see your own worth, to see how expansive you can be, to call in as much expansion as you can hold. Um, Allowing yourself to be bigger, to not play so small is challenging for you. However, I get the sense though that you're going to start looking at things in a different way. Um, you're going to start viewing your own worth and ability for expanding to the capacity that you, the life that you want, the dream, the path, whatever you're looking at, is calling upon you. So it's good because you're going to start, there's something that's going to happen in the beginning of October that's really going to shift your perception around your own worthiness and your ability to call in more expansion and hold that expansion. What's this judgment card? Okay, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. All right, you're definitely making a decision in this first half of I was going to say January, October. The Star in reverse. So you're going to finally make a decision. It's going to be very clear on what you want to do. And this is about you taking the higher path, and the delay, the pause you've had around pursuing your destiny, pursuing your bigger hopes and dreams for yourself, the thing that really like you want so deeply, right? The thing that you feel like almost like connected to through the umbilical cord, right, of life. So you are going to make a decision on this in the first half of October. But when you make the decision, it's going to be very clear. You're going to understand exactly what you're doing. So I think this perception shift is going to really clear out any cobwebs or fog, is going to dissolve. What's this Two of Cups in reverse? Yeah. Eight of Cups, you are walking away. You are closing the door, air signs. You are closing the door, ending contracts, perhaps putting distance between you and someone you care about. It doesn't mean it's over. It's just at the minimum, I see distance. And we have the Sun card. This is a very good choice. Okay, this is one that you should feel very optimistic about. It's one that is opening up higher levels of consciousness for you. It's a big yes. Okay, the Sun is the yes card of the deck. And so, whatever you are choosing to walk away from, the universe is deeply supporting you in this, which constantly remind yourself of when you start to hit some of these little speed bumps or, you know, little tests along the way, because they are going to come your way. But let's see what the Star is in the near future. What do we need to know about the Star card? Okay, we have the Four of Swords and the Two of Cups again in reverse. Whatever this dream or wish or destiny is that you're heading into, it might also call you in to reflect, to go into meditation, to retreat. But more so, I do feel like there's this knowing that when you're following it, that you knew that in order to do this, you would have to retreat from someone, from maybe a promise. Again, that could have been a promise that you had made a long time ago that no longer applies to now because you've changed. Maybe that other person has changed. Maybe the circumstances have changed. For some of you, this may also be calling you towards someone from your past. It may somehow involve someone from your past that has been important. Like maybe they've spoken to you in your meditations. Again, does not have to be romantic. but someone important, like it could be someone who feels like a soulmate type person, but just anyone who you feel a strong connection with or have in the past might also be coming in to help guide you from a different dimension, okay, as you're moving forward in this. So you may find yourself meditating a lot on this, or through your meditation, they guided you to make this move. What is this Nine of Wands? Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. And the Five of Swords. Look, you are going to be at odds with your own intuition throughout this journey. Okay, so in the near future, you will question your own intuition. You will question your own ability to feel into the field. That is self-sabotaging energy. So I'm kind of here to like give you a heads up when that happens, to not let it creep in too much, because I do see that happening. However, with the Two of Stars, and I think that's how you're being tested. And I don't know why that's going to be coming up so much for you. I don't know if this is like a really big breakaway moment for you, where you're really leaning into what you want, your choices, instead of what other people may have wanted for you. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, and the Hierophant in reverse. Look, it feels like whatever you're doing, you're going to finally find a balance between maybe having some unhappiness in the home situation, on the home front, with family, with a partner, and understanding that you're having to make a very untraditional or non, like this is... Yeah, it's like that Aquarius energy that I was talking about before, you know, like with Pluto being in Aquarius going forward in the middle of October, like I think it's the 14th or so. It's about your future, but it's also about breaking free and knowing that you're not necessarily meant to always follow what everyone else does. You know, yes, it's about the bigger groups, but it doesn't mean that you just follow along for the sake of following along. And so you're going to find that balance between knowing that you might be breaking the rules, or you might be leaving behind traditional choices or things of that nature to pursue what it is that you want. And you're going to finally strike some kind of balance that's going to balance out for you, so it's not so in your face. So I mean, you've got a big choice and decision coming up here that you're going to be making in the first half of October. I do see that the reason why you're making it, that when you do make it, it's calling that you do have to leave something behind, some aspect of your life, maybe even for some of you, someone. But it is what's best for you. Okay. It's a big yes from the universe. It's helping you align. So your intuition will be questioned. However, take that time to really settle in and understand why you're making this move. What were the levels of unhappiness prior to making this decision where you didn't feel so, maybe you had financial security, but you didn't have happiness security. Maybe you didn't have creative security. Maybe you didn't have like soul security. Okay. So there's a lot of different forms of security. All right. Air signs, let me know how that resonated for you in the live chat. Hello, Stacy. Fire is next, actually. Let's do that. Fire signs. Oops. You guys are next. So we'll be looking at Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Hold on a second. Wait. What's going on here? Okay. All right. Hi, Anvil. Oh, Kathy, it felt like a private reading. You're welcome, sweetie. Okay, so we're going to find out what's in store for my fire signs. And speaking of which, if you missed the beginning, I made an announcement that I will be holding my next retreat in the dead of winter, January. Details will be announced in my email tomorrow. However, if you email me tonight, I will send you details if you're interested. Just email me if you're interested in coming. It will be only 4 people. Okay, fire and ice will be the theme. Fire and ice. Brand new location again. One more cut for my fire signs. All right, Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What's in store for my fire signs for the first half of October? What can they expect? What insights can we provide them to help them navigate what is coming in? All right, let's take a look. All right, let's find out what is the main energy, main theme of your reading, and what is the potential challenge. What is the main theme? Okay. I love this. Okay. I love this, fire signs. I really feel this as my moon is in Sag and my Mars and Venus are in Aries. Okay, so the main theme of your reading is Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure. Okay, see if I can just get that in there. Number 50. It's so funny what your challenge is. Okay, movement toward adventure, addiction to problems, allowing and trusting the current. So the Spirit of the River invites you to step into the flow, to stop swimming against or avoiding the current. Allow the waters to carry you downstream, away from the eddies and the whirlpools. It's time to heed the call of a new adventure waiting for you. Stop working on the problem for a while. The issue is not what it seems. It is your addiction to fixing what has gone bad that is consuming so much of your time. So work to create a greater good, and the bad will resolve itself on its own. There is nothing there's nothing that you can accomplish with more efforting, as the situations in your life right now are subject to forces beyond your control. So recognize this, step back, and trust the flow. There is no loss of face or lack of honor or integrity. Is simply the way things are at the moment. This card appears when it is time to say yes to the next leg of your journey. Your life is like a river, inevitably and inexorably flowing to the sea, which is your divine destination. Okay, whatever it is you are holding on to, the feelings, the thoughts, the beliefs about how things are or how they should or could be, can be fixed easily with the power of the Spirit of the River. Okay, so this is why I think it's really funny what your challenge is, because it is the horned cactus, okay? Where there is no water in the desert, but it is about resourcefulness. Okay, so when we look at this card, this is about blooming through resilience, resourcefulness, and discovery. When nothing seems to be happening fast enough or your ideas have dried up, you begin to question your relevance. During these periods in life, you might feel like giving up, frustrated and resentful that success will never happen for you. The issue here, however, is a matter of perception. Remember that the horned cactus thrives in the barren desertscape, offering you the gift of water when all appears to be dry. So it's like, can you even find water in the desert and flow? Okay, so what you don't see are the deep roots that extend far into the earth, filling it with a continuous flow of water. This succulent is a symbol of resilience, of resourcefulness, of your needs being met in spite of appearances to the contrary. So fire signs, you are going through a period right now where it may look like your resources are drying up, where you're headed is drying up. But if you just step into the flow and stop trying to fix a problem that you believe needs fixing, you might find that you are steered to exactly where you need to be with much less effort, much less stress. Can you just trust? Can you just surrender? And know that when you need to call on your inner resources that pull on that intuition, the water of the universe, okay, that intuitive guidance to guide you and let you flow. This is certainly, and this is a time where if you keep focusing on the problem, you might get pricked by your own thorns, okay? So all that being said, let's jump into the tarot to find out where this is taking you. All right, so what do we need to know about the past for my fire signs? All right, we have the Knight of Crystals in reverse. The Ten of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Wands in reverse. All right, coming into the near future for my fire signs. The Queen of Cups in reverse. The Justice card, upright. Libra energy in the heart of your spread. And then the Three of Cups coming in. Okay, coming into the near future, we have the Queen of Stars in reverse. The Fool card in reverse. Oh, and the Flower of Life in reverse. Okay. Overall energy, Page of Wands in reverse, Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, so with the Page of Wands in reverse, this can just talk about like there's a new energy on the horizon here that is possibly excited. Okay, possibly excited. And there's this desire to want to like reach out and begin things and throw like some energy into some passion and some creativity and maybe something you're inspired by or motivated by, but it's either feeling delayed or held back or tampered with, or I should say tempered is probably the better word to use. And with the Seven of Cups in reverse underneath it, it almost feels like you don't have a choice in the matter. So like it feels like you're almost backed into a corner and you can't do anything about it. But there is a part of you that is excited, that is kind of looking to something new, but it's getting tempered by a situation where you do feel a bit backed into a corner. So in the in the past, we have the Knight of Crystals in reverse, the Ten of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So I do see like there's this almost this sense of either feeling like no energy is moving forward, you're just things might be feeling like they're at a standstill or it's impossible to get forward movement, or for some of you there was some sort of hasty action taken that may have also compromised your long-term happiness in some way with the 10 of cups here in reverse. It may be putting pressure on that area of your life. Again, it could be just your sense of family, home, overall just big life dreams, things of that nature. For also some of you, it might even be causing you to call into question what it is that you really want for your life. What you thought you wanted versus what you maybe want now might be at odds with one another. With the 5 of Wands here in reverse, there's like maybe some chaos going on inside of you, like just unable to really anchor into anything, right? Like things might just feel, it feels like everything's kind of up in the air. You don't know really where you're landing. Yeah, the energy just feels very, I want to say chaotic, but again, many things are birthed from chaos. It feels chaotic to us can often be a sign of divine orchestration. So I do want to say that. But it's like it's an internal war with yourself, okay? It's an internal war. Now, coming into your current energies for the month of October here, at the beginning, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Justice card, and the 3 of Cups. So the Queen of Cups here, it feels like there's someone around you, perhaps, that is very cold, maybe emotionless, or maybe on the flip side, way too sensitive, okay? And it's causing some sort of friction in your life. But I do find, though, that with the Justice card, there is a need to make a decision here, a choice to balance out the energies, to balance out the scales of justice, perhaps. For some of you, this might be a legal issue that's coming up in the first half of October. I will say that if it does look like it works out in your favor with the 3 of Cups following right after it, because those are certainly happier times. It's a lightness starts to flood in. This energy that, you know what, I'm just going to have some fun. Maybe you're going to have fun with friends. Maybe it's a reason to celebrate. But it is definitely a time where the mood needs to be lightened up. So if things have felt heavy, your job is to go out and just have fun. Do the opposite energy. Involve yourself in the opposite energy. Stop taking things so seriously. Stop trying to fix all the problems. Like, find yourself back in that energy of joy. Joy that can move things very quickly. It can turn the energies around really, really rapidly. Also, solutions are often found in happier places. When I say that, I mean, like, sometimes the solution comes in a moment where you're not even thinking about it, right? Like, you're not immersed in the problem. You're probably doing something completely different. So this is why your energy is being called to go with the flow, to surrender, to maybe move out of whatever stuck whirlpool you might be in, re-enter the flowing river. Now, coming into the near future, you have the Queen of Stars in reverse, the Fool in reverse, the Flower of Life in reverse. So the Queen of Stars in reverse, I'm just wondering if there's a woman in your life who is, this could be you, but a woman in your life who's more concerned about themselves. They are more concerned about status, or more concerned about their own security, their own finance, their own well-being, so to speak. The Queen of Stars in reverse is a little more selfish energy. On the flip side, it could also be someone who's not looking out for their best interest. They're too busy worrying about everyone else, right? But I see, though, that whatever this energy is doing, it's bringing up the idea of starting new, starting fresh, a brand new beginning. Again, we have the Fool card coming up in the second reading with the full moon in Aries coming up. The Fool card is represented by Aries energy. But this is like, really wanting to move forward, but also feeling like you can't, right? Like there's something holding you back. And with the flower of life here in reverse, let me just kind of go into this, this reading for it. Sacred geometry, the universe, and creation. So maybe again, letting yourself get out of flow and alignment with what is that signature energy, what is that energy that will just pull you in to where you need to go. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to effort, you don't have to try. It's the opposite of the self card. It's a sign to step away from your ego and detach from everything that forms your identity. So if this card is telling me here that you might be too much in the ego and you need to detach from this idea of who you think you've always been, who could you possibly be stepping into in this new area of your life, this new chapter. We are all one, and the same life force flows through your best friend and your worst enemy. If you suffer, we all suffer. So treat others exactly. So this is about just reconnection. Okay. Remembering that, as above, so below. So what is happening inside of you is happening outside of you as well. So if you can kind of calm some of the chaos within you, again, I want to say joy is a great place to find your flow. If you can keep coming back to that, I think you're going to find a lot of solutions. So let's go into the clarity cards here. What do we need to know about the Page of Wands in reverse? Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse. We have the King of Swords in reverse and the Page of Wands again in reverse. So double Page of Wands in reverse. So again, this might refer to someone in your life, someone who you have a very sacred contract with, someone you have a connection with. This also could just be someone from your past. This could be a past experience of divine union, that really maybe awakened something within you, but maybe didn't give you the clarity of how to execute that kind of energy into your life right now. For some of you, you might be dealing with an air sign or someone who has more air-like qualities, meaning they're more logical. I would say, even though like it may not even be someone else, this could just be you, fire signs, trying to just think your way through something. And it's best to allow the heart to lead. So why do we do the headstand in yoga? So that the heart can be above the head, leading the way. So oftentimes we put our mind above our heart because we stand up. This is how it goes, which is one of the reasons why when we lie down in meditation, there is a balance between the head and the heart in hierarchy. So for what I'm kind of sensing is there's a need to maybe bring the heart up to, at minimum, same hierarchy as the mind in how you're approaching things. But I do feel, given the cards, you're better off even going where the heart is above the mind. Let's see where the Knight of Crystals in reverse is. Okay, we have the Five of Wands again coming up in reverse here. So you may have been making frantic choices, hasty decisions, or completely frozen due to some kind of internal war. Maybe it's about new money, how to make new money. Maybe it's about new forms of security for you, new job opportunities. What do we need to know about the Ten of Cups in reverse? Okay, it's about like, who are you working with right now and trying to balance that out. The Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles. There's something about your happiness, your long-term happiness goals. Maybe again, it's like affecting your home life in some way. But like, finding balance between work and home life is kind of coming up here in the past for sure. But also, like, where are you wanting to put your energy? Where are you wanting to build your skills? I would also say too that, with the Three of Pentacles here and you trying to find balance, this is also about making a choice. The Two of Pentacles can be about making a choice about who you want to surround yourself with, who you want to work with. Sometimes the Three of Pentacles can be about friendship, wanting to bring new friends perhaps into your life. What is this Five of Wands in reverse? Okay, so we have the Sun in reverse with the King of Wands. There you are, fire sign. So you're internally at battle with maybe not happy with the way you're leading your life, maybe not happy with the position that you're finding yourself in. Maybe there are better ways to lead. You might, for some of you, be at an internal war with someone who you work with, who's above you. But again, this may also be like, for some of you, there's this war of like what your creative passions are and how to actually even just express that into the world. How do you bring that and birth that into the world of like what it is that you want to do, where you maybe like are starting to feel more confident in, and just feeling like, nothing's ever aligning for you with the Sun here in reverse. What is the Queen of Cups in reverse? All right, we have the Six of Pentacles. Again, okay, the Moon in reverse. I do feel like there's a part of you that is, some of you are just shutting off your intuition. I mean, this can be someone too who is oversensitive or just kind of cold emotionally, not really emotionally aware. But it also could just be that you're kind of not listening to your own intuition or what it's wanting to bring you. But despite that, it does feel that you are going to be receiving at minimum clarity about something in the first half of October. So the darkness is kind of lifting. If you felt like things were hiding in the shadows, they're going to be revealed. But it's coming as a gift to you, something that you are receiving. Could be some kind of opportunity that maybe your intuition has been speaking about, but you haven't been listening. Let me see what this Justice card is about. What's this Justice? The Judgment card in reverse. If you have been off your path, you are certainly going to be course correcting. Yeah, the Nine of Cups in reverse. You've just been unhappy with something. You just haven't been that happy. And it's been with the way you've been living your life, to be quite frank. Fire signs in some cases. In other cases, it's about your spiritual path. Realizing that it's getting compromised in some way. Your sense of like what you truly wish for, hope for, desire has been out of balance or has been compromised in some way, and you're course correcting that this month. You're finally like, you know what, enough's enough. Time to minimum balance the scales out. It's time to make some bigger choices and decisions that don't allow for this injustice to continue. Let me see the Three of Cups. Again, whatever this is, it's a reason to be in celebration. Okay, so on the Three of Cups, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. I think you're going to be seeing how perhaps you've been holding yourself back possibly from this illusion that, you know, like, well, what way do I go? What choice do I make? Like, is it this option or is it that option? And truly, I think deep down, you've always known the answer. And I think you're going to start to realize, you're going to realize that, and there's going to be some like celebration because you've overcome this. And from this, it births some form of security for you that you need to move forward. I do get the sense that you realize you have more than you realize too. Let me see this Queen of Stars in reverse in your future, your near future. What is this Queen of Stars in reverse? Okay, we have the Five of Swords. So someone you're fighting with, maybe. Someone who's a little selfish, only thinking about themselves, more concerned with just material things, money. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. I do feel like there's going to maybe be some conflict for you with this person. Maybe, and it's going to be around cutting corners. Whether it's you or them cutting corners or about something that's cutting corners. I get that you're not happy with it, whatever it is. What's this Fool card in reverse? Okay, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Tell me more about the Fool. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so whatever's happening, it's really kind of putting back into perspective this new path that's opening up for you, okay? And it feels too like you're going to start to surrender to not surrender to your fears, but actually surrender away from your fear. Like the fears are going to surrender is what I really want to say. Whatever's been stressing you out it's going to soften. Like it's not going to hit you as hard, and you're going to start to see yourself as independent. You're going to see the way forward of like how you can actually be successful on your own. Or when I say on your own, I mean away from whatever it is that you're in. Like you start to feel good about yourself. You start to feel like you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve. The flower of life here is, you've got to remember to always stay connected to the flow of the universe. So we have the Emperor coming up. This is what will give you dominion over your reality. Ten of Cups in reverse, and will start to affect and shape this energy up here where it feels like things might be coming undone, whether they're coming undone at home, coming undone with family, coming undone with what you think your hopes and dreams are. Like you're the one who's going to course correct all of this, but you don't course correct it in the ways that you usually do. This isn't about fixing the problem in the way that requires you to effort more. Okay, this is about you surrendering to the universe's flow, allowing it to move through you to solve the issue. And it's going to be around this major, major issue of what are your biggest hopes and dreams, your home life, your family, things of that nature. Okay, fire signs. So big stuff's kind of getting stirred up for you. But I mean, if you can stay in the flow and keep surrendering and trusting your intuition, keep trusting that you are supported. Catch yourself when you're trying to overcompensate by putting in more effort. It's time to pull back. It's time to pull your energy out of the problem and let the universe do its job. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense to all of my fire signs in the audience. Let me know how that landed for you. Hey, Shells, how are you? We are now heading on to Earth signs. So, let's see. Earth signs, you guys are next. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's find out what's in store for you. And of course, if you're just arriving, please hit the like button, drop a comment, say hello, drop a love heart for me in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, let's find out what's in store for my lovely earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, for the first half of October. Okay. What do my earth signs need to know to help them navigate the first half of October? And let's find out, what is the main theme of your reading, earth signs, and what is the potential challenge? Oh, earth medicine. Interesting. Fun is on the docket. Good. Glad to hear that. Oh, thanks, Anvil. I appreciate that. Oh, I just realized I don't have the chat up on my screen. Hold on a second. Let me just fix that. There we go. Chat will start coming up now. So if you guys just want to activate the chat just to pull it up on the screen right now, you can. Let me just do this. There we go. Okay. All right. What is the main theme of my earth signs reading? Okay. And what is the potential challenge? Okay. Well, earth signs, the will o' the wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows, is the main theme of your reading. So I'll show you the card here, Will o' the Wisp. When I look at your challenge, oh, the themes and challenges are kind of funny. Let's see here. Okay. So, Will the Wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, into the unknown. You may have been visited by her before, but though intrigued, you refused her invitation. It would be safer to remain on the journey that you know. So while you always had a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. So she's come to you once again to offer the magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, and your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray, or will they? So again, this is where you're being kind of haunted in a way by that intuitive calling that you need to venture into places that you don't have a lot of experience with, or that seemingly feel a little too dark, a little too unknown, cast in shadows. Maybe it is about diving into a dark night of the soul. Maybe it isn't about exploring some really big trauma. Again, I will say this card really speaks to a lot of the work that I base my entire principles on for the work that I do with people. It's why I look at the 12th house in everyone's chart when I'm looking at things, and it's because so much of what we feel are our shortcomings, the things that we feel that make us maybe ugly, the things that we find ugly, the things that maybe make us feel small, could be the very things that hold our greatest potential, our power, our secret talents and gifts, that when we finally face the thing, confront the thing, look at the shadow, we now get access to, we are handed the key. So there's something around that that's coming up for you. And of course, your challenge is the wall, okay? Obstacles. And again, it's like, it's kind of taking me back to when I ran my generational trauma healing course on how to help you break past that invisible wall that so many of us face, that makes us feel stuck, that makes us feel like we're not getting anywhere. And oftentimes we are stuck because we're not willing to face the thing we're resisting the most. And so, earth signs, if there is something that you are constantly resisting, like saying, not yet, not now, there are better ways around this, or I'm sure I can find another way, it might be time to face the one thing that you've been resisting the most. That's what I'm kind of getting here, with the wall being your challenge, the obstacles, just feeling like, like if you go that, like if you feel like you're constantly not getting movement where you want to be, it's likely that's the case. Okay, so let's kind of jump into the tarot and find out where this is going. Okay, what do we need to know about the past for my earth signs? We have, the Ace of Stars or coins in reverse. What else do we need to know about the past? We have the Four of Stars in reverse. And the Star, actual star card in reverse. Okay. What do we need to know about the current energies for my earth signs? All right, well, we got the Three of Cups coming in first half of October. What else? The Magician. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. And then coming into the near future, we have the Four of Cups. Then we have the Five of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Cups. Woo, earth signs, juicy reading. I like it. So the Knight of Wands in reverse is the main theme of your reading. And then we have the Ace of Swords or crystals underneath it. Okay. Look, this is about maybe taking really fast action. Maybe, what do I want to say? Spontaneous action. Like, it feels like with the Ace of Swords underneath this is about like an idea that just comes to you and you immediately act upon it without really thinking. Not necessarily a bad thing, I want to say, is not, especially based off of the cards that I'm seeing here. But you might feel called to do that. There might be some like burst of insight, an aha moment, a big reality check that was, you're like, whoa, I got to this is what I got to do now, and you just kind of go with it. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing here as the theme of your reading. Now, in the past, you have the Ace of Stars in reverse, the Four of Stars in reverse, the Star in reverse. Okay, so look, earth signs, I think something around resources, money, sense of security, sense of your own self-worth, new beginnings in that are kind of coming up, but it feels like it's not really taking root. It doesn't feel like it's fully tangible yet. And there's this feeling like, I don't know if you've had to surrender, you've had to let go, you have to maybe not hold on to things so tightly, but whatever it's done, it's like it's caused your destiny to feel a little shaky. It's maybe made you have to enter into some deeper healing with the Star here in reverse, but it also feels like what I'm getting more is that there's some sense of like uncertainty about your path forward. And it doesn't mean that you don't know what your path forward is, although maybe for some of you that's the case. But like there's fogginess and patches, or like exactly how to move along that path, or like something is kind of looming over it in some way. Maybe the star has disappeared and you're in the darkness right now and you're like, where's my star? Is like, is this exactly the path I'm supposed to follow? just kind of like questioning it. Maybe even some ideas of self-doubt coming in, especially with the Ace of Stars here in reverse coming up. Maybe you've been doubting something, but you're kind of in this era right now, Earth signs, of having to navigate the darkness, the unknown, the uncertain. Okay. Things where the map is not in your hand. You do not have the compass right now. And you might be trying to avoid areas of this path that are like, they keep showing up, but you're like, well, not now. Maybe if I just turn left, or maybe if I go this way, there's more light over here. Like there's something you have to conquer, face, confront, that you've been avoiding, that there's been a lot of resistance towards. In your current energies, we have the Three of Cups, the Magician, and the Eight of Wands. Look, I think you're going to have a big breakthrough in the first half of October, Earth signs. Possibly when it comes to what you're trying to manifest. It might have something to do with this money that I'm seeing up here in the Ace of Stars. But I do see a sense of coming together. I think you're going to have a little more fun, a little more downtime to enjoy yourself in the first half of October. Or there's just reasons to really kind of come together and celebrate something. Again, with the Magician in the heart of your spread, Virgo, Gemini energy here, there is, you're definitely making shit happen, Earth signs. You're bringing things together. So perhaps it has felt like there's been maybe even things you've been doing like in the unseen, the unknown realms, right? Maybe it's been in your dreams you've been doing the work, but you haven't really seen things come forward in the actual manifest. I think that's going to happen, and I actually think it's going to happen pretty fast, because you also have the Eight of Wands, which means clarity is 100% going to be coming forward. With the Eight of Wands, it's like things happen fast, they happen rapidly, and they happen with precision. There could be some very quick communication that you get around this. If you're waiting on communication for something, it's going to come forward, and it's going to come forward in a way that you've manifested, that you wanted. In the near future, we have the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups in reverse, and then the Nine of Cups. Look, I see a blessing coming into your life, but there's a part of you that's not really seeing it yet. Like you're a little unhappy, or maybe you're not even like seeing that the universe is already bringing it. It's on your way. But I do see, though, with the Five of Cups here in reverse, you're going to shift the energy where you're not so focused on what's not happening. You're going to focus on what's happening. And in the end, there's some major wish coming true here. Nine of Cups, you're definitely going to be in your feels, in your good feels. So I see really good things happening for you here, Earth signs, in the first half of October and even afterwards. It's just a matter of really leaning into the places that you've been resisting. Can you do that? Because that's when things start to kind of be set free in a sense of how they manifest here in the 3D. So let me see what this Knight of Wands, and I feel like it's going to come spontaneously. Like you're going to have like this aha moment, and you're going to take action on it like really fast, spontaneous. What's this Knight of Wands? Or this is what is a result of that. I don't know. So what do we need to know about the Knight of Wands in reverse as the overall energy? Okay, we have the King of Cups, the Eight of Swords. Sorry, it's too many cards. I'm going to pull one more. And the High Priestess in reverse. What felt trapped, what felt stuck is going to be set free. It's going to be revealed. And I would say that for some of you, this may involve someone that you deeply care about, that you have a strong heart connection to. This somehow they might be involved in this in some way, or they might be contributing to it in some way. Or for some of you, this is about you really leaning into the mastery of your own work in the unseen realms, the work of your heart chakra, your work intuitively, psychically, all of those things. You know, the king is like the top hierarchy. So this is about like masterful work. So this could like be what's really kind of catalyzing things here for you. What's the Ace of Stars in reverse in the past here? Okay, we have the Temperance card. So your patience has definitely been tested. Things have been feeling slow moving when it comes to your finances, resources, new forms of income. Or maybe it's like something, it's coming in a new way. I don't know. But then we also have the King of Wands in reverse. So very frustrated. There's been a lot of frustration. Maybe even some temper tantrums in a sense around this. A sense of losing control is what I really feel when it comes around here. And so like your patience is really getting tested when it comes to maybe your finances, your resources, your sense of security. And for some of you, your own self-worth is getting tested. Let's see the Four of Stars, maybe opportunities around that. Two of Stars in reverse. Sorry, Two of Swords. Two of Swords in reverse. But something happened here where you really needed to let go. And you did. And letting go is the very thing that created momentum in your past. The Justice card in reverse. This could have been on delayed contracts. This could have been on delayed justice. This could have been on something that you're waiting to finally hear about, in a sense of balancing things out for you, a decision you were waiting upon. When you finally let go and you trusted, all of a sudden the path opened up, you knew exactly where to go, and things were taken care of. But it's still impacting your destiny in some way because it doesn't feel like the fog has necessarily lifted. Even though certain things get taken care of, there are still other matters at play. What is the Star card in reverse? The Hierophant in reverse. Some of you might have been needing to, okay, yeah, the Queen of Swords in reverse. Some of you have been maybe looking to maybe look for a new mentor, coach, maybe new spiritual teachings, because you're realizing that some of the ways that you've been maneuvering are just outgrown, like they don't work for you in the same way anymore. And so you're like, it's time to kind of maybe let go of those. But at the same time, what's propelling you forward is still like this fogginess, this cloudiness in around where your dreams of how to manifest those, maybe even your own destiny to some degree. Now, this is where all the energy starts to shift for you, is in October, Earth signs. We have the Three of Cups. What is this Three of Cups? I think Addie wants to come into the room, so hold on one second. You want to come in? Come on, girl. Come on. We'll let her come in when she's ready. She was clawing at the door. Okay. Three of Cups. Oh, we have the Two of Cups coming in. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Star card coming in. Wow. Okay, so there is definitely a reason to celebrate. I believe you potentially and another person this could be about a contract. This could be about a union of some sorts, a union of you and a business, an idea, a contract, something of that nature, something that you've been really feeling like was at a distance from you, and now it's coming in. There is something big coming in for you in the first half of October, Earth signs. Here, Addie, come here. Come here. Want to say hi? Want to say hi to everyone? Want to say hi? Me? Yeah. Let's see here. The Magician. Let's see what this Magician is for my Earth signs. Okay, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so things that have been delayed, waiting, like you've worked, you've put in the fruits of your labor, but you haven't seen the fruits of your labor, is what I should say. And it's something that you've been masterfully working on, putting a lot of time and effort into. And I would say, like with the Four of Wands here in reverse, it's like the Four of Wands again is like, you know, sometimes that's your twin flame, your soulmate, but it's also could be about like weddings, ceremonies, celebrations within the family. And it feels like in some way, something is really coming together when it comes to like the bigger picture of what you've been working so hard on, like putting in that foundation, building that foundation is kind of coming in. So whatever you've been like kind of waiting on, you've been investing a lot of time and energy into, maybe even money, it looks like it's starting to build. The foundation is really starting to take root. And yeah, what you thought maybe wasn't there is going to show up. So what felt like a big delay, let's see. What's this Eight of Wands? Okay, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Hermit. And the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, there is going to be some sort of insight, something like I think intuitively is going to come to you very quickly about something that had to do with the celebration over here. And also when it comes to like money issues, maybe delays around large sums of money, delays around long-term investments. You're going to be compelled to go inward. And I will say this, Earth signs, that when you do, the answers are going to show up rapidly. Like you're going to get the insight that you need. There's going to be this aha moment. And I think this is what's going to really propel you to be like, oh, this is what I need to do, or something along those lines. So let me see this Four of Cups. Let me see this Four of Cups. Yeah, okay. There is a big new adventure. Look, we have the Fool card again showing up. The universe is trying to bring in some new pathway for you, a new beginning that is tied to your hopes and dreams, something you would like to begin building upon. And so it's coming your way. You just may not see it yet. What is this Five of Cups? Okay, Ten of Swords in reverse. So you're letting go of these mental stresses. You're like, I'm not going to look at the problems. I'm not going to like look at everything that's going wrong. I'm going to start focusing my energy on what is right, what is good, what is certain. Tell me more about this Five of Cups. Yeah, and then the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like things where you felt weren't taking root, and these new beginnings, these new opportunities are going to start to turn around. So what's this Nine of Cups? There's your Eight of Wands. Again, so like finally you're going to get wish fulfillment. There is something, there is a big insight, something that is going to speak to you from within you. Okay. It's not going to come from outside of you. It's going to come from within. Pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your meditations, just your quiet time, your contemplation, reflection, whatever. And it's going to finally, like, you're going to receive, it's going to come in fast, like a really big wish of yours and dream. Eight of Pentacles. It could be tied to your work. It could be tied to your mastery. It could be tied to all of the time and effort that you've been investing. So I do feel like, Earth signs, you're going to start to see the fruits of your labor. And I think something's going to shift really big for you at the first half of October. And then even later into October, November, you're going to really start to reap those rewards even further. So really good sign. I will say this though, Earth signs, very important that you do not lean away from the thing that you're resisting. Start to lean into it. Start to be willing to confront it, because there are treasures hidden in the shadows. So what is it that you've been so unwilling to confront? So hoping that maybe something will shift so that you don't have to confront it, right? This is the time to finally say, you know what, let's just put on my big girl panties or my big boy panties and do the thing. Okay. So that's my reading for you, Earth signs. Let me know how that resonated with those of you who are currently in the live chat. And if you're watching later, let me know in the comments, please. Okay. All right. Actually, let's do that. And we are going to move on to water signs. You guys are next. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's find out. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What's in store for you for the first half of October? All right. One more. How is everyone doing? Hi, Melanie. Good to see you in the live chat. I guess it's morning for you in the future. Oh, yay. We started finally the live chat on the screen now. Okay. And if you're just catching in, please hit the like button. All of a sudden, it got really warm in here. Okay. Let's go into the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge for you guys. What is the main theme of your reading and what is the potential challenge? Okay, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is the main theme and what is the potential challenge? What's the potential challenge? Oh. Okay. So the main theme of your reading is pretty straightforward. Deep quiet, meditation, and stillness. So this might be a time where you're feeling the need to be retreating, to go inward, to quiet the noise that is around you and turn all of your energy towards your internal compass and landscape. Something could be waiting for you there. The interesting thing about your reading is the challenge is the Watchers, transpersonal. So let me go into that for you. Serendipity, the observer, witness, and transpersonal. So when Watchers appear, it is an invitation to stop doing, pause, get off the treadmill. So you might have this, it might be difficult for you to just stop right now, okay? Like it may be difficult for you to just press the pause button and go within. You might find that life has a way right now of trying to keep you on that hamster wheel. Find the witness within, the one who can observe the fire and fury happening around you, but is not caught in any of the drama. The time is right to step back. If you have a thought or opinion, keep it to yourself. If you have a feeling that needs to be expressed, do it in the shower. This is a time where solitude and really just tuning all the other things out around you is very important, as well as your interaction with the world. Obviously, to a degree, right, of what is, reasonable. Watchers show up to direct your attention to the horizon and away from the anthill in front of you. So others might think you are simply doing nothing, but let them know that you are helping the sun to set in the evening sky. There are bigger things to attend to. You have spent such a long time trying to correct the course of events and the actions of others. Let it be for a short while as you become the observer rather than the doer. So it's time to take a little break, water signs, because it does feel too like when you do, things start to synchronize a little more, like synchronicities will start to happen, things start to fall into place. Does feel like there's a lot of energy around that coming through the readings, different ways, but very similar. The Watchers invite you to break free from the linear causal pace of the petty day-to-day, rise to divine coincidence, to serendipity, and notice how the act of seeing the heart of the matter produces results. Things happen without you doing anything. Creation unfolds in its own mysterious way, requiring only a sacred witness. All right, let's go into the tarot and see what comes up. Okay, we have the the 8 of swords, crystals here. We have the 7 of crystals in reverse. Ooh. And then the 9 of stars coming in. Okay. Coming into the current energies for my water signs. Okay, we have the 5 of wands in reverse, the 4 of stars in reverse, and the 4 of crystals, which is the meditation card. Okay, coming into the near future for, okay, we have the 3 of stars in reverse, the 7 of cups, and then the Emperor card coming up. Okay. Overall energy is the Hermit, and then the Wheel of Fortune. First time the Wheel of Fortune has come up in the readings. Look, water signs, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I kind of do, because I know a lot of water signs, including myself. But this is the time where inward work, trust, is going to do way more for your reality than the doing. Okay, so this is where you are meant to just observe reality, because remember, through the act of observance, you can collapse a wave into a particle. So perhaps you need to observe the reality you want, the reality that you wish to create. Um, which would require you to step away from the current reality as it is and work in the unseen realms to do that kind of stuff. And all of the energy is really speaking very loudly to this. I mean, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune underneath, the deep, quiet, still, the Watchers, the Four of Stars, the Four of Crystals. Like you have so much here showing up in that way. So in the past, you have the Eight of Crystals, the Seven of Crystals in reverse, and the Nine of Stars. So you're maybe overthinking things, caught in your head, overanalyzing, overthinking, like just the wheel is turning. Okay. And the Seven of Crystals is you might be returning to like, when the Seven of Crystals to me is always like returning to the scene of the crime when it's in reverse. But it could be even like, it could be reconciliation. There could have been a reconciliation of some sort that needed an apology. But I feel more for like you guys that this is about like, you're needing to overcome like past patterns, past stories, past, I don't know, things that would get you stuck and keep you there. And I think, with the Nine of Stars here, you start to see that though those were the old stories, and you're in a completely new reality now. You are more independent of those stories. You're not feeding them, like you're breaking free. In the current energies, we have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Four of Stars, the Four of Crystals. Look, there is inner conflict going in here. There is turmoil. They are a mixin' inside internally. And so with the Four of Stars, you need to get grounded. Okay. You need to find your roots. You need to find your foundation, and you need to meditate. Your first half of October is very, very simple in a sense of the instructions. Okay. Whether or not you're going to be able to follow it, because it does feel like life has a way of trying to keep you busy. But this is where it feels to me like, water signs, that things could drastically change for you rather quickly if you can do this. Your medicine is to go inward, to ground, to use your vision, okay, your mind in a productive way that works for you in the creation process. Coming into the near future, we have the Three of Stars in reverse, the Seven of Cups, and then the Emperor. Look, the Three of Stars in reverse is saying just kind of like there's things that like you're realizing like old foundations are maybe not stable, they're not supportive. Okay. And I would say that they're connected to things that are not options for you anymore. Okay. So I say that because you have the Seven of Cups coming in here, and I just really feel like it's about opening yourself up to all the different possibilities. It's opening yourself, not just the one thing that you maybe thought you needed to work on. It's like, it's not that you can't still work on that, but it's like open up the world of possibilities here for yourself. Allow for way more to be possible. Doors, windows, all the different things opening up for you, because this is where you're going to find your dominion. With the Emperor coming up here, this is where you gain control over your reality. And your control over your reality is truly through working with the unseen, going within, taking rest, retreating from the busyness of life. So very like easy kind of reading right now, but depending on what your reality is, water signs right now, maybe easier said than done. So let me just see what this Hermit is, because again, with the Wheel of Fortune underneath this Hermit, this is how you get things moving. This is how you change things. And we have the Sun card. This is meant to bring in massive positive change for you, water signs. Like this is how you align. This is how all of the planets and the stars start aligning for you into one big fat yes to whatever it is that you're wanting to create. The Ace of Wands. So again, this is about birthing something that has been, you know, you've been wanting to birth it, but it just hasn't been something that you've been able to bring out into this reality. It's still feeling like a delayed possibility. It's not feeling like it's on the front burner of the universe's plans for you just yet. That could all very well be starting to change through this action. Let me look at your Eight of Crystals. What's this Eight of Crystals? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords again in reverse. You've been thinking about all the ways the shit goes wrong in the past. Okay, all of the way things may have been taken from you, or people have betrayed you, or caused distrust, or things of that nature. Just, I don't know, like you're overthinking the bad is what I want to say. Okay. And it may have something to also do with losing money or not having the money. Like maybe your investments going south, maybe you losing lots of money, maybe you losing a job that was well financing you. This could also, with the King of Pentacles under there, this could have something to do with your father. This could have something to do with men in your life not maybe showing up in the way that you want, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could just be someone who carries maybe more masculine energy, who's told you they're going to be there for you, but they haven't been. Let me see this Seven of Crystals in reverse. Okay, we have the Judgment card in reverse, and then the Knight of Wands. So, oh, come here. Come here. Someone wants dinner. Okay, with the Knight of Wands on your, so you're like wanting to take action. You're wanting to take action, but there's also a part of you that's afraid of making like the wrong choice. Like, is this the right thing for my path? Right. And it's because you keep going to like how things maybe didn't work out, or you're kind of attached to old stories. I do see though that you're breaking free of this, because the next card is the Nine of Stars. So let me just see, because there is something about your own independence that's coming up that's very important to this story. What is this about the Nine of Okay, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe in the past something's happened to like really challenge that sense of accomplishment, sense of personal success. And this might be something that you're trying to do using more of your intuitive nature, maybe working more from your heart. Maybe this has to do with someone that you deeply care about, but it does feel like it's what your heart is most connected to. Okay, like you want to be successful with the things that deeply like speak to your heart. So what is the Five of Wands in reverse? And you may have had a past experience that you weren't as successful, or something happened to it. I don't know. Well, let me see this Five of Wands in reverse. So we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. What else? The Eight of Cups in reverse. So this internal conflict that you're having, this chaos inside, this war, this whatever it is that you're at war with inside, it's around like not being able to walk away from this concept or belief that you're not able to receive, like you're going to be shortchanged, or that you are shortchanged, or that it's never balanced in your favor, or I don't know, like there's just something about like blocking your ability to receive things or getting what it is that you feel like you deserve. But this energy is kind of coming up inside of you. It's getting activated because it's there to show you, you got to end this. You got to remove this from your field. And I do feel like you're going to do that, because with the Four of Stars here, I see you getting a sense of grounding, a sense of control, but not from like overexerting yourself, more from like just, again, it's a connection to the earth, connection to what's real, what's good. What's this Four of Stars? Things that you have strong foundations in already. Okay, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So really kind of grounding into, yeah, with the Seven of Pentacles coming in, this is grounding into a wish that you want but feels delayed. Okay. It's like you're going to start grounding into it. You're going to start like really starting to plant more than just seeds. Like you're going to start watering all the visions, watering all the emotions, like putting in all that energy of what it is that you want to take root. And it's related to a dream or wish of yours that has not yet fulfilled. What's this Four of Crystals? What is this Four of Crystals? Eight of Wands. See, when you go within, you get the answer right away. So my earth signs and my water signs are really needing to turn inward over the first half of October. Not surprising, considering how much energy is in Pisces and Scorpio right now and coming into the next 2 weeks. But so there's going to be some kind of clarity, some kind of movement, communication, a big green light go kind of energy. Five of Swords in reverse. So like the conflict's going to feel like it's finally lifted. Whatever you feel like you've been fighting for is going to be lifted. Isn't she beautiful? You're so beautiful. Yes, you are. You are. Okay, Three of Stars. What is the Three of Stars in reverse? There's that Page of... Oh, here we go. Page of Pentacles in reverse with the Nine of Swords. Okay, look. Wherever you felt like you had to, you know, like it... the Page of Pentacles here, it's like you have these fears because you don't know yet how to build the thing, okay, that you're like wishing for, dreaming of. Like you might have ideas, but you don't maybe necessarily have the full experience or the earthly experience of doing that. And so like and it also, I'm getting too interesting. I'm also getting with this Page of Pentacles in reverse, I'm getting kind of like childhood blocks around money for some reason, or being able to receive coming in. So there's some kind of fear here that you're going to finally like abolish. You're going to break down. You're going to realize this isn't the right frequency to build upon. I know. Dinner soon. Dinner soon. Almost done. Okay, Seven of Cups. What is the Seven of Cups? Okay, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. You're such a drama. You're such a drama queen. Okay. And then the Lovers. Okay, so I feel like there's something that you've had a nostalgia with from your past, maybe even your childhood, that again, it could even be tied to past life with the Six of Cups in reverse. Something that, you know, you're going to maybe birth, like you come into union with through, like you're going to open up more doors of possibility to it. Like something like kind of comes together as you bridge the gap between the past and the future. Like there's something how you somehow are like through like keeping yourself open to different options, you leave multiple timelines open. Like, I don't know, there's something around this that allows you to kind of bring things in is what I'm seeing. And then we have the Emperor coming in. Okay, we have the King of Wands coming in, then the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Hierophant. So it's almost like, oh, this is such good energy. It's like there's so much commanding energy here of like taking control, the magnetic force of like your will, your clear command coming in through your connection to the divine, to spirit, to your commitment to your path, your spiritual path. And that's why I feel like you're really being called to go in, because with the Page of Cups here in reverse, okay, it's like those dormant dreams, those dreams that have been feeling like they've been on the back burner, finally get all of the commanding energy behind them, all of the right energy to kind of steer that ship. And so I do feel very strongly that you're going to start to see your life shift. Things are definitely going to change with this Wheel of Fortune on here. The thing though is, water signs, it's going to come from you not necessarily affecting your reality in the way of doing. Okay, you're going to have to really go into your process of visualization, meditation, and it's going to have to be consistent. You've got to retreat from whatever's really pulling your energy away from you going within. That's how you're going to start to see shifts happen. So there's something really big with the energy coming in here right now that's going to help you with that. So water signs, that's my reading for you. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Don't forget that I'm making an announcement tomorrow about the next retreat that is very small, only 4 people, 4 tickets. It's going to be intimate. It's going to be nestled in the mountains in a different location with a massive fireplace. And if you would like an opportunity to come to that, where we will be doing 2 mushroom journeys, email me January in the subject heading. Okay. Nicole@NicoleFrolic.com if you would like early access to those details, as I will be releasing all of it to the public on my email tomorrow morning. So with all that being said, January, we're kicking 2026 off, a 1 year. New beginnings, a new future, new initiations with a winter retreat. So, guys, I love you. If you need any more information, you know where to find it on my website, NicoleFrolic.com. I love you guys. Oh, it was 100 on for you, Melanie. Well, I'm glad you were able to tune in all the way from Australia. Guys, I love you so much. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you guys really soon.